Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Derek J. Wright, and I am here with a new live stream. And this is kind of an exciting one because I have a relatively new horn here. This is the Yamaha 672 ND. N stands for nickel, D stands for detachable bell, which is the configuration I expect most of you will want this horn in. This was recently released at the IHS Symposium in Fort Collins. So it's just a few weeks old, making its new debut. And it's a Kruspe-style horn. Most of the time these days when people are talking about a brand new horn, it's usually something Geyer style. Maybe it'll be something Alex 103 style. But don't get that many brand new Kruspe horns out on the market. And this one has been in development for a long time. And I know that for a fact because I remember trying out prototypes for this horn 5-6 years ago. So it's been in the oven for a while. And really my first impressions of this horn is that it's really, really, really good. And spoiler alert, it is my favorite Kruspe-style horn on the market today. The sound, I love the sound. It gets the classic Kruspe sound while avoiding. So, if you like the Yamaha 668, the predecessor to this model, that's fine. But I personally was really not a fan of it. I found the bell to be too big, the sound to be too big and washed out, and just not a very good horn. And I kind of felt like it was an example of someone telling another person to make a horn I needed to be big and broad, and then they go too far thinking that and I'm sure this isn't what happened, but it felt like they didn't, the previous horn, the people who made the previous horn didn't believe there needed to be any sort of focus or color in the sound. And I think this horn corrects it. This horn, compared to the 668, has a much smaller bell throat, but still large. This is still a big Kruspe kind 8D style horn. And it just gets this really nice, all I can say is like Hollywood tone to it. Um, the build quality is excellent. So the keys feel fine. You know, they're not the greatest vowels I've ever played, but they're also far from the worst. They are fine. Um, Ergonomically, the horn is great. Um, yeah, I really have very few bad things to say about this horn. Keeping in mind that for my daily horns, I am more of a yellow brass Geyer style player. So take that. You should take my advice in what I'm saying about this horn in that context. Hold on. Am I talking to anyone right now? Yes, I am. I have 13 people watching. Although everything here says I am offline. Although I am online somewhere. Here, I just need to double check. There I am. Okay, I don't know why it didn't show up for me, but it looks like I have been streaming for a while now. And I have not been talking into the ether, which has happened sometimes. But along with the new horn, Yamaha introduced a new case. And this may be the best improvement. So gone is the big wooden suitcase with a new lighter wooden suitcase covered with a pleather material. This is a lot lighter than the previous case, smaller and a lot more useful. Now I am sad that this case is still too long this way for airline carry-on regulations. So like the old one, it can get into an overhead, but if you're doing international travel or you happen to run into, a gate agent that's having a bad day and they make you put it in the sizer, it will not fit. And you may have to do some arguing to, not arguing, some polite conversation to get it onto the plane. If you argue, you'll never get it onto the plane. But this case, it's backpackable now. It has 2 sewn-in straps. The build quality is nice. Obviously you can't really tell how well a case will hold up until it's a little older, but I do not believe that. My initial impression of the quality is that it is good. And nothing special there. Room for a horn, bell, and a mute. You can fit a stop mute in there as well. So horn, 2 mutes, and some accessories. Okay, so the Yamaha 672. Let's take a look at what Yamaha has to say about it. Okay, so we have 4 different versions of it. So I guess the plain old YHR-672 is the yellow brass model. And then we have the detachable bell model with the D and the 672N and the 672ND, which again is going to be the model that you want. Nickel silver does not make the sound darker. It's actually a harder metal and it makes it brighter, but it does a good job counteracting the darkness of a large horn like this, which is why the classic Kind 8D has done so well over the years. So we have a new lead pipe inspired by the renowned YHR-672 custom model. Produces stable intonation, rich overtones, maximum expressive freedom. So that last part of the sentence is just pure marketing, doesn't say anything. Now, I know that they have to refer back to the past because a lot of people really liked the old 862s, including myself. I thought the 862 was much better than the 668. That being said, I do not believe that the 672 really plays like a 862 at all. But you know what? I think it's actually a little better. But, from the marketing perspective, it can't hurt to call back to the past a little bit there. Squared main, a little typo there. Squared main and F tuning slides. A semi-square crook tuning slide and repositioned main brace work together to create well-balanced playability. Things like the shape of slides do matter, but it's kind of in what I like to say in X factor kind of way. So in a way where you can't really put your finger on what it's doing, but I've tried horns when someone will give me a squared tuning slide and then someone will give me a rounded tuning slide, and there is a difference. Extra large bell with an unsoldered rim creates a rich and powerful tone to resonate through every performance. So, since they're using the term unsoldered and soldered rims, most players don't know what that is actually referring to. So, generally, you can have a bell rim without any solder underneath, or a bell rim with solder, or a bell rim with wire and solder. They do different things to make the bell more or less ringy. Again, it's one of those, like, one technique is not better than the other, but depending on the horn, it's part of the design process where you'll try it with the soldered rim, try it with an unsoldered rim, try it with the wire, etc. So short stroke fourth lever mechanism, a redesigned shorter lever mechanism allows for faster switching between F and B flat sides, adding convenience and comfort during performances. Yeah, like I said before, the keys on this feel great. Well, they feel good. They feel good. It felt better, but these feel good. And then this just says this last part just says it's made out of nickel silver. Nickel silver resistant to corrosion, harder than yellow brass, and capable of delivering bright, colorful tone with outstanding response. One of the nice things about this horn is that it actually comes in under the price of a Kind 8D. So it's selling new for $6107.99. And yeah, I know horns have gone up in price. The low 6,000s is where the mid to high 4,000s were before the pandemic, but that's just how it is now. At $6107, this is a great price for the horn because it comes in under its main competitors, the Kind 8D and the Hans Hoyer 6802. So I think I have said everything about it. So we have Michael Wells here. What mouthpiece comes with it? I don't know. Let's see what is in the case. It is the 32D4 Yamaha mouthpiece. So stay tuned. If this horn doesn't sell in the next few days, I plan to do a direct comparison between it and the brand new Kind 8D, which we also have in the shop. And although I've done a video on the 8D before, we now have a model of the 8D with redesigned levers, which actually addresses my main complaint with the horn in my previous review, where I said the keys were just a little clunky. But this does a lot to alleviate that. But is it extra large or medium bell? It is large. It is a large bell. Well, or extra large bell. It is a Kruspe size bell. The whole thing with large, medium, small, extra large is that it's all subjective. Extra large compared to what? Medium compared to what? There is no standards guide in horn or mouthpieces or anything that we do. So in my opinion, it is an extra large bell, but it is smaller than the ginormous 668 bell. Okay, and if it seems like there are no other questions, thank you for joining me for today's live stream. Again, I had many people come up to me in Fort Collins and tell me how much they love the videos and love watching the live streams. And it really humbles me and makes me, to realize that people are actually watching these things and actually appreciate the information. So as long as you keep watching, I'll keep doing them. Until next time.